This week's Hometown Happenings is brought to you by the Detroit Lakes School District.
Welcome to Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy here today at the Lincoln Education Center, home of community education, with the Community Education Director for the Detroit Lakes School District, Anne Marie Locker.
Hi.
Hi, Anne Marie. You've got a relatively new book out for classes, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today, the first half, and then the second half we're going to talk about some of the new changes with the driver's ed program.
Yes.
So first off, the latest community ed catalog is out, and there are a number of spring classes soon to happen, and we're going to go through some of those. Some of the ones that I see that we've highlighted here, dealing with gardening and some of these spring activities that people may want to get into.
If people are starting to kind of get sick of winter and looking forward to spring, which really can't be too far away, right? What are we, February? Couple months yet.
The groundhog said it is about 6 weeks away, but what do groundhogs know?
Yeah, right. But yes, we actually have a class coming up in March, 2 classes coming up in March. Home composting, which is a free class that Sandy Gunderson puts on.
Okay.
Awesome for people wanting to start that this year with their garden and get into composting. And then we have several master gardeners who are putting on a planning for your successful vegetable garden class. And that one's actually filling up quickly. So we've just got a little bit of room left in that one. If you're interested, you should call and get registered right away. It'll be March 16th. So.
Okay. All right. And it's very easy to call and register, but can you register online as well?
You can also register online, dlcommunityed.com.
Okay,
and
very
you
cool.
can give us a call or stop in, whatever works best for you.
You know, and what I like about the community ed classes is that they're very reasonably priced for the expertise that you get teaching those classes. And you also have other classes, with hobbies and special interests. If gardening isn't your thing, we've got the bike season coming up, and I know everybody likes to tune up their bikes.
Yep, Dave Langworthy, who owns the bicycle shop here in town, is going to teach a class right here at the Lincoln Education Center that'll be a hands-on bicycle maintenance class. So the first night it'll be more informational, and then the second night you'll actually bring your bikes in and learn how to tune them up and with the mountain this year. And I think people are going to be using their bikes a lot more. Hopefully some bike trails coming soon. I guess I haven't heard the latest on when they're coming through DL, but I know it's still in the works.
Right.
So
the Heartland Trail extension is out there, and lots of new trails around the community. So that's a very cool thing.
Another new class we're kind of excited about is Mike Daly is going to be teaching geocaching. And he and his wife are both teachers with the school district, and they've been doing it as a hobby for many years. They go all over the place.
Yeah, I've talked to him about that, and it's fun because I don't quite understand it myself. But sometimes I see the little treasures around town, and I'm like, what is that doing on the fence? But then somebody says, well, that's a geocache. Whatever. So
it's just kind of a fun activity for families, a way to get outside, and get your kids like hiking or just kind of an adventure. And you used to, I think, have to have a special GPS, but now you can use smartphones.
Oh, sure.
So it's not even an investment for, equipment or whatever, but he'll teach you all about it and get people registered. There's like a website where you get registered for geocaching.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's happening in April.
Yeah.
Also, you have another class about low-pressure boiler class. What's that one all about?
I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, but Ben Weekley was the head of maintenance here in the school district for many years, and he is like the expert in boiler operation and maintenance, and so a lot of people for their job skills need to keep brushed up on that, or maybe learn about it, and they can actually get certified if they take his class. So
because you get a workbook and another book, and so that's very cool, and that's usually. The classes are usually held in the schools,
school buildings,
or sometimes off-site, but typically in school buildings. So easy to access and that sort of thing. And again, you can register online or pick up a book, a catalog, and you can look through it and read. I like your summaries. Your very informational summaries. Also. One of the things I was looking at too is the guitar lessons. I have a guitar at home, but you have actually a class for hopelessly busy people.
Yep, we do. We have, and he teaches these classes regularly. So if you don't make it this session, he usually offers it in different sessions, instant guitar and instant piano.
Oh, cool.
He's actually from Arizona, and he travels around teaching these classes in different communities, and it's just kind of a quick and, learn some basics so you can get going on your own. And explore.
So a lot of these obviously are for adults, but kids can also go through them. You know, teenagers. I see this one's 13 and older for the guitar.
Right. Okay. Yeah. A lot of classes we have are for families. We have a cooking class coming up that's kind of geared toward mommy and or daddy and me cooking, so people can sign up and learn how to do some actually freezer meals with their kids.
Oh, neat.
So they would actually put them together and take them home and put them in their freezer. So.
All right, and you know you've got computer classes for maybe those parents that want to catch up with their kids.
Yep, those have been really popular, and they usually fill every session. We have Bobby Heimarks, one of the IT staff here, and he does an awesome job. Small classes, so you get a lot of one-on-one. And Denise Lingus teaches some of our office classes, so she does Word and Excel, and again, small class sizes. So.
And then you have not only classes, but you also have some trips, and there's
right
one
now
coming
we do.
up. Right.
Yes, we are offering what's called the Pink Bus Mystery Trip, which is a mystery. We don't know where they go, but it's a great time. It's an overnight trip for women only, and they do all kinds of things. I mean, looking at some of the trips they've had in the past, all kinds of fun activities, things you wouldn't probably plan on your own.
That's very cool. So pick up your catalog if you haven't already got it, or if you have one, take a look, register online, or you can call Anne Marie at the Community Education Center here in Detroit Lakes.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break, and then we got a little bit of time to talk about some of the changes with Driver's Ed, which is another program offered. We'll be back with more Hometown Happenings after this. Welcome back to Hometown Happenings, here with Anne Marie Locker, Director of Community Education for Detroit Lakes School District, Detroit Lakes, and we're talking about some of the things offered through Community Ed, and one of the things that is offered through Community Ed is the Driver's Ed program.
Yes.
And I understand there are some changes you wanted to talk about.
Yes. The state of Minnesota has passed a new law last summer that changes slightly the graduated driver's licensing program. They have added some time that parents need to spend with their children in teaching them how to drive. And the whole reason that they're doing this is just to really try to involve parents even more in making sure their teen is a safe driver, not just assuming that once they get their license, they're ready to go. So what the change in the law is that they need to drive for 40 hours with their student driver, and they need to log it on, this is the supervised driving log that the state provides. And that actually needs to be turned in when they go to get their driver's license.
Okay.
The other thing that they have to do in addition to those 40 hours is to attend a parent education session, and then they get a certificate showing that they attended the session. If they choose not to attend that session, then the supervised driving log needs to include 50 hours of driving.
All right.
So our parent education session that we have coming up will be March 19th, and that's for any parent with a student driver, even if they aren't involved in our driving program. And it's just a great, we had one last fall, and I was so impressed with some of the information that was given. We use this point of impact curriculum that the state provides.
Okay.
And it's just, the goal is to just make parents aware of some of those safety things that they can teach their kids as they're learning how to drive. So I'd really recommend that a parent choose to attend that session at the beginning of their child's driving, not at the end, so they can really help them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. And if you want more information, again, contact the Community Ed office here in the Lincoln Education Center, where Anne Marie is located. Anne Marie Locker, my guest today, the Community Ed Director. And Anne Marie, we're going to have you come on again because there's lots of information and lots of good things happening through
Sounds good.
Ed.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Carol.
For Hometown Happenings, I'm Carol McCarthy.